What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Great Lakes Outdoors podcast. Today, me and Alex are sitting here with three special guests. Two that I can remember the name, one not so much. But first, Alex, how are you doing?
We're doing good, man. Happy to be home. We got the house is getting all situated. We're getting ready to move in, and it's just that lull time of the year where we're kind of sitting, waiting around for duck and goose season to come up. So
it's coming quick. It's coming quick. Before you know, we'll be out scouting. We're already talking about blinds and whatnot. But to get to the guest, today we got Tim, again with Gibraltar Duck Hunters, president. We got Jamie. I had to ask him like 4 times before we started this podcast.
It's been like 10 meetings.
Yeah, no kidding.
Maybe 2, really.
No kidding. And then we have Bob with Point Mouille
Waterfowl Festival.
How's everybody doing?
Good. Good night. Hump day.
Before we start this, I want to say thank you to Tim. Because without Tim today, I'd probably be sleeping right now in the bed. Because there's so much stuff going on right now. And I was like, what are you talking about? Where are you talking about? Like, I have no idea what I thought you were talking about a Point Mouille Fest, like a meeting or something. And then he calls, or I call him, and he's like, oh, we're doing a podcast today. And I look at Fonz because we were helping my sister and Jake move out of Fonz's house now. He's like, we got the podcast. Bob's on his way. And me and Jamie are sitting here. I'm like, oh, shit, man. Like, yeah, I'll be there in like 2 minutes. Like, whatever. But
it happens.
For the people that haven't tuned in to the first podcast, and we'll start with you, Tim. You kind of want to just, the first and second podcast, really, because we did one at the festival last year.
Yep.
A brief one, and then we did one with kind of the crew here, I guess, for Gibraltar Duck Hunters Association. You kind of want to just tell everybody who you are and what Gibraltar Duck Hunters Association is?
Yeah, well, I'm from Gibraltar, native. Moved here when I was 3 years old. You know, grew up with the waterfowling. My dad was a waterfowler, walleye fisherman. Back, so I kind of grew up in it. And then, buddies, I actually moved out of Gibraltar for a long time. And while I was in Dallas, some buddies started this little club. I moved back that year. And they were going on a duck trip. And they said, hey, you want to go up on a duck trip? And they just started this Gibraltar Duck Hunters Association. So I went up hunting. My dad handed me his old Ithaca. I went up to the UP and, shot at some ducks. I won't say I hit any, but I shot at some ducks. And kind of been involved ever since, and it's just grown. It started off as just, a few guys going to the bar, having a couple beers, and,
couple means like 10, 12.
Yeah, something like that, yeah. Not much has changed. So, so we just, been doing it over 20 years now, and, our big event we do every year is we like to get kids out in the outdoors. We, during the youth waterfowl weekend, we sponsor a big event. It's a big barbecue. We allow up to 50 kids to come in. We give them all decoys, hats, shirts. We go to Cabela's on a shopping spree for prizes just to hand out to the kids. Cost them nothing. Just to kind of promote them getting out in the outdoors, off their computers, off their Xboxes, and kind of enjoying that and trying to get some more waterfowlers out there, some younger generation.
Promote the outdoors because, as we all know, we're definitely losing that.
For sure.
And I think last week's episode, we talked about that with Paul, with just the nitty gritty, the get down to it kind of thing, where it's just not there anymore.
Yeah.
So, but Jamie, again, that's 2 times for me now. I remembered your name. So I'm just saying. Yeah. I'm not asking for anything after this podcast, but I'm just saying that's 2 times in a row.
I don't know. What do you want to know? So it's 20 years of this. So I've been just hanging out with the club. It's been a good run. I enjoy working with the club, Point Mouille, Waterfowl Festival over there. I got involved with these guys last few years. Kind of been doing just the Gibraltar Duck Hunters for a long time, and it's just it's time to help out some others, and it's been good. So having that synergy between the 2 clubs has helped us all out. Helps out the community. Everybody, Bob's a great guy. Like working with him. Tim's doing a really good job in presiding the club there. Just got renominated, so we'll see if next time we get nominated. Well, I got renominated as VP, so
yeah.
See how that works. 2 more years of that. it's a good time. I mean, it's fulfilling actually a little bit to help the kids, help the Point Mouille itself, the grounds there. We put in the dock last year, 2 years ago now, and talking about maybe doing some upgrades to that dock. So we just talked about that at the meeting last week.
That I wasn't there for.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, listen, you got to be able to, like, I was so waiting for a text. I'm like, man, did I do something wrong with these guys or something? Because, like, the 3 weeks prior to that, it was, we were texting, like, hey, meeting this week. And then next thing you know, the group chat went dry for a minute. And I was like,
It did.
Did someone leak a picture of me or what's going on here? You know what I mean?
You gotta remember, it's just a third Wednesday. It's just
Yeah.
that, third Wednesday.
So is that how it goes? Third Wednesday of every month?
Third Wednesday of every month down at West Jefferson Bar and Grill, the old Big Al's on West Jefferson.
Yep.
We have meetings there. They accommodate us. They either put us in one of those outdoor patio rooms or in the back. And
Right.
So we can kind of have some quiet and talk about, club events, stuff's coming up.
Okay. Yeah, that was all.
Yep.
Now, with those, you say the location and everything. Can anybody show up to those?
They can.
Okay.
Anybody?
Yeah, we're an open club. We don't have dues. It's a come be a part of the club.
You
Show up for
hesitated on that
meetings.
first word there.
What's that?
You said come kind of weird. I'm just saying.
Oh God!
Go ahead, though. I'm sorry to interrupt.
Did that excite you when I said it?
No.
I'm just wondering where you're at right now.
I think I had the wrong name for that one, but go ahead. I threw you off on that pretty
We'll be
good.
watching you at this meeting now. You sit next to me. I might have an issue with that.
If you feel a leg, just let it happen, man.
Right down that road. There we go. I like this. It's good. But I don't even know what we're talking about now. So moving on.
Showing up to meetings, we really don't
It's
have
not a good
dues.
part of it,
I mean,
yeah.
we at one point we charged dues, but we're in a pretty good spot right now with our fundraisers and that. We choose not to at this point because we really don't need it.
So you just need more people to get involved with the events and get involved with the projects and just showing up and being consistent and being
Correct.
reliable.
That's it.
It's what every successful club needs. Right.
And not only that, the meetings are business, and then we start talking about hunting, fishing, laughing and joking around. It's not strictly, a 2-hour meeting. It's
not all business.
We're sitting there, we eat after, we have a few beers, talk about a lot of other things, mainly a lot of hunting and fishing, but, it's good camaraderie to sit around with all the guys and talk, and all new members are welcome, and it's free. Just show up to a meeting.
Yep.
That is one thing that's nice. When I'm pretty sure, Fonz, I've talked to you about it, where it's like just a big family there at the end of the day, and you're like Bob said, you're hearing stories, you're learning off of stories. It's just I'm a fanatic with the history of the area. And what it was like back then and compared to now and stuff, and to hear like the stuff that some of the guys say, I don't know, it's super cool to me.
I think now, like with me having a son, the other kids, do the kids come to the meetings? How does that go? Do they sometimes come, or is it just an adult only thing?
Well, one of our members has almost a baseball team now, so he usually brings a handful.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just think like for kids getting into the hunting, it can be kind of intimidating, right? Even if your dad's done it their ear hole, you're operating a gun or you're getting into that and you don't really know as a kid. So it's like for a kid to see other kids and be a part of association, feel comfortable.
During the youth event, usually, it's the parent or a relative or someone or a friend taking them out and they hunt for a couple hours because during the youth season, ducks stop flying at 9:30. Right. You're right. You get maybe a hour of shooting. But you always get shooting, and then they show up to this barbecue. Now they get to hang out with all the kids, and they all get duck calls and goose calls. Awesome. So they're just blowing the calls all day long. And then we have Joe Robeson, who's works for the state of Michigan. He comes out and does demonstrations and shows them how to use the call, why the different types of calling, and talks about concealment and just the basics of waterfowling.
He's actually supposed to be coming on. I'm in the works of him trying to get something lined up with him.
He's an excellent caller.
Yes.
And he knows his waterfowl. And he knows how to hunt them. He knows how to call them. He knows how to set them up. He's very good.
Yeah. But, Bob, we're not forgetting about you now over there.
I'm just
I know you're at the end of the table
I'm
now.
enjoying this stuff.
What
Don't start picking on me yet.
you've been here before. You
Yeah,
might have only got 3 words in with your
Yep.
dad here,
I said hello.
and
Then he said goodbye.
I think said goodbye, and that was the 3
Hello, okay,
words.
and bye.
That's
Yeah.
your 3 words.
Yeah. So for the people that listen to that podcast and still don't know you because you weren't able to talk at all, who is Bob Whitlam?
Well, I was lucky. I grew up in a waterfowl family. I had a dad that's been hunting since the 50s. In the heyday, when it was really good hunting. So, and then, I was lucky to grow up near Point Mouille. I was actually closer to Point Mouille than I was to Gibraltar. So that's where I spent most of my time, hunting and fishing and trapping. So when I grew up in a community, now it's built up, but similar to Gibraltar, but maybe not all the nice paved roads and some of the houses, and now it's really improved. Yeah. But it was a tremendous time to be a kid. You didn't have all the internet stuff, but we were outside all day. If we weren't hunting and fishing, we were playing baseball or playing hockey when it was frozen ice. We did it. I grew up on a canal, and I just had an amazing childhood doing all that stuff, and plus being able to hunt and fish. And then we didn't even think about deer hunting till probably the late 70s, 80s, when the ducks kind of dried up. So we slowed up our hunting on ducks, especially layout shooting. And then we just, got in a little bit more deer hunting and pheasant hunting and stuff. So, but it was, I had a great time. And I've been with the Point Mouille Waterfowl Festival since I was, could walk, basically. I was drugged down there, and, you hung out all day long. And that's when, you'd have over 10,000 people come to that festival because there was no competition. And if you needed stuff, all my hunting stuff came from there. And you didn't have the big box stores, you could order off, through catalogs, but you didn't have the internet, you didn't have any of that stuff. There was decoy shows. There was tons of stuff for the kids to do. Back then we had a duck plucking contest.
See, that's crazy because just to think about that festival. With going for the last couple of years now, to hear stories like that.
Oh yeah.
And that's the whole point of us doing this and promoting it. Is just try to get it to go back to that point.
The shooting competitions used to be run for hours.
What came first, the tournament or the festival?
The actual tournament came first. In 1947, there was a few guys, and the way I was told, these guys were arguing outside. Of course, they were drinking. Who could set up the best rig, and who could set up the fastest decoys, who could punt the fastest, who could row the fastest. And then the next year, they started a competition. So that's how it began. And it was all by hunters. And now it's blossomed into what we have now is the Point Mouille Waterfowl Festival. And all that money has been generated for all them years. And not only that, people actually giving their time and donating time to go into the marsh and do work to make it more successful for everybody. And, we're a 501c3 organization now. All that money generated goes right back in the marsh. We've been doing a lot of work in there. We work with 5 major groups, including Gibraltar Duck Hunters Association, Waterfowl USA, Ducks Unlimited, and Pheasants Forever. Well, I don't think there's 5 groups, so we haven't. We've done a lot of work and contributed a lot of money, and people wonder, well, how come the state's not giving money? Well, when numbers are dwindling, the pie is only so big, so to speak.
Right.
So we help out where we can, and then we do projects on our own, just like 2020, we built an ADA blind. Now, it serves 2 purposes. It's a boardwalk in the summer where people can go out there and bird watch or just enjoy walking down the boardwalk, and it's 200 foot long, and at the end there's a blind. And you can register through the state at Point Mouille, state game area, for when the managed units are open. So it makes it accessible for all, and we're getting plans to build another one come 2025, which, we're talking, the last one was about a $30,000 project. This one could be a little bit more, even though it's only 80 feet, but you're talking a little bit more, there's more water there. When we built the last one, we did it all with volunteers. So we're getting ready to put this out and hopefully have a few companies bid on it and see what we can do and get this built. So it's going to be it's a thing that's been needed for a long, long time. There's a lot of ADA blinds around in the state of Michigan. North Carolina, I know, has a bunch because that's where I've seen a lot of pictures that Ducks Unlimited from Ann Arbor loaned us just so we could see what the heck we were going to build. So, but not every spot's in a good area. And both these blinds will be in really good areas. And if they're not, if no one reserves them, then anybody can use them. So it's an awesome thing to have, and accessibility to all is a must.
Yeah, that's the Zone 11 blind, right?
Zone 11.
Yeah, if you haven't seen it's really nice. Super, super nice.
It's called the Walpatage Point, and the first one we built is called the Nelson's Nest.
Yep, super, super nice blinds. Zone 11 one especially, I've hunted in it a couple times. Yeah, and it's just super nice, super well built. You could just tell it's very, 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 very sound.
And both of these you can drive up, unload, especially the new one we're building in Zone 11, Walpatage Point. You'll be able to drive your car and then drive over to the pump station, which is like 50 yards, and park your car and then go to hunt. So
Awesome.
You can drop all your stuff off, the person you're with. That's very important for, especially the older guys or someone that actually needs where they can't traverse the marsh. This is very important for them to continue to be like everyone else and have accessibility to get in the marsh and actually hunt. And this one will have an actual boat with it because there's so much water and it's so deep.
Wow, really?
So we're supplying a boat too.
That's awesome. What more could you want?
Yeah, you can't beat it.
Yeah.
It's a nice area. I've hunted that zone several times.
It's very tough to hunt.
Zone. Yeah, it is.
It's good hunt.
It's a good zone.
For Point Mouille, and there's a couple other like Fish Point, Harson's Island. What can you say that separates Point Mouille from the rest?
Bob.
They're both great areas to hunt. But Point Mouille is probably the most heavily used state game area in the state of Michigan. And it's one uniqueness with it is actually man-made. Most of it washed away. And if it wasn't for the Army Corps engineers and a few other people,
Right.
you wouldn't have a marsh there. You'd have very little. Not only does it serves many purposes. It gives dumping the dredging for the St. Lawrence Seaway, which is Detroit River, and Amherstburg and the whole area. And it also protects the inland waters, and, the islands, the residents that all the way up to the city of Gibraltar, Trenton, and downstream. So it's a landmark for a lot of people that are fishing or boating because it's right off the Detroit River Light. But this is one of the major hubs for migratory birds. And if it wasn't for the way the state manages it, it wouldn't be what it is today, even with all that. They do a great job managing it. They plant and manage units very well. They keep the pressure down so you actually can, hopefully when you go out there, you can shoot some birds or at least see some. But the last few years, it's been really a good area to hunt. You just gotta, pay attention to when you're allowed to go out there, for one. And even on the areas that you can hunt anytime, they're good areas, and they're working hard. And that dike, and that's part of the reason we're doing what we do, is because it's a marsh restoration program in progress for the life of it, because it's man-made.
It's two things with like even Point Mouille and for Gibraltar Duck Hunters Association. It's crazy the amount of people that just think it just happens overnight, and everybody thinks like, oh, it's no big deal. Like it'll just get done.
Yeah.
Like the docks, for example. Like nobody understands what happens behind the scenes.
Oh no!
Everybody wants to be, their name on something, but doesn't want to put that work into it. And it's crazy to me at the end of the day. It's just crazy that nobody, especially around here. I mean, there are a lot of people that want to help out, but not enough people that want to help out.
Right.
With how many people use that every single year? I mean, that draw has got, what, 60-something people in it every
Oh, yeah.
morning, if not more?
It's very busy. But, I mean, there's, can't remember how many units in the managed units. There's 14, 16, 20, 22.
22 with the
22.
Yeah.
And if I'm not mistaken, when I looked it up, because I, like Kyle, I do research on the area, it's one of the biggest state game area marshes in the country. I'm pretty sure it's top 5 from what I read.
It's, well, I don't know all the data on that.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's up there.
Yeah.
But I know it's well managed, and there's
Very.
not enough to help manage it. But, you know, like you were mentioning about people just think it happens. Right. And groups like Gibraltar Duck Hunters, Point Mouille Waterfowl Festival, Waterfowl USA, Ducks Unlimited, Pheasants Forever contribute a lot of money and a lot of time to that area. I mean, the rollers, that's something that we purchase to bring your boat across.
Right.
And they maintain all that stuff. And it's a constant battle to maintain that because you got water erosion. You got, I mean, it's
Just
been
the
there
use.
since they built that, and I think they started in '69. And the concept was, I mean, originally they were going to dump all that dredging in the middle of the Detroit River, in the middle of the lake, actually. And then they come up with this plan, which I just got information on. I can't remember everyone's name that were. Pete Petoskey was one of them that was a biologist there originally that came up with this plan with the Army Corps of Engineers. So it's a huge thing. Thank God it's there,
Right.
because we wouldn't have what we have today. But, you know, and when you mentioned about helping out, people need to help out. And whether you pick your trash up when you leave or just coming to the festival and buying a lottery or a raffle ticket, that helps tremendously. And just coming there to see what's there. There's always new stuff that's happening there. We've changed a lot of stuff trying to keep it relevant to some of the younger kids. I mean, shooting events and dog jumps and dog demonstrations, puppy row. We got a decoy show this year. We've got a lot of stuff going on. Art tent. We got a live auction. We actually have a beer tent that's going to be run by the Gibraltar Rotary and
Yeah,
the Rockwood Rotary, and they profit from it too, and that creates money for them too to do their good things. So it helps us out, and you know we want to continue this for another. You know, I'd love to see it at 100-year anniversary. So I mean, it just takes a lot of work, and anybody who wants to volunteer, all you got to do is go to our website. You know, we just need where you want to go, or come to our meeting, which is the second Tuesday of every month.
You heard it here first. If you use it, don't abuse it, and give back to it. Because it's a big area. There's a lot to manage. There's a lot of work that goes behind it. For the guys that just go out there and just hunt, think about all the back end stuff that has to go into the beautiful swamp that we have back there and the birds you get to kill. So if you're listening to this, try to give back the best you can in any way, shape, or form.
That's a true story. There's when you really think about it, Adam and the crew that's down there, there's only a few guys that are that work there.
Yeah.
That, you know, that day to day.
Yep.
There's only a couple of guys, and it's amazing what they get done over the course of the year to maintain that property and to do everything there. You know, and you know what I mean. Realistically, what little help we give them, you know, comparatively to what they do every day as a job, it's they get a lot done down
And
there.
they're nonstop working
Yeah.
all the time,
Yeah.
especially in planting season.
And besides even hunting, you're talking fishing, bow fishing back
yeah.
there. I mean, you got all these
Bird
other,
watching,
bird watching,
everything, yeah.
all these other opportunities that are there.
Yeah.
So I mean, not just the help from waterfowl hunters in itself,
Right.
but all of the other people that are
I
you know,
mean,
using that area.
it says Waterfowl Festival Michigan Duck Hunters Tournament, but it's open to anybody, and people that love the bird watch, it's open. I mean, we accommodate everybody. There's stuff for everyone to see.
Come down and see the puppies.
Yeah. I mean, there's our dog jump is one of the most popular things that are there.
Yep.
and on
we
top
got-
of that, you get to see Tim.
Yes.
Yeah. Tim's there.
Yes.
So I
I
mean,
will be
Jamie's
there
there.
signing autographs.
right.
Yes.
So
Tim's taking his shirt off.
if you can get by Jamie, that's the thing, though.
Well, you might get lucky and run into my dad. He'll tell you every story there is.
If you run into your dad, you're not going to leave for
Yeah.
I don't know how
Stuck
long.
there,
Yeah, you're going to be stuck there. But
It's a great time.
You might be standing, but I guarantee you he'd be comfortable on that golf cart he'd be driving.
Oh
around.
yeah, oh yeah.
So it'll be okay.
He's an accomplished artist, fisherman, hunter. He's been doing it for he's going to be 85 in 5 days. He's been doing it all, and he's been doing our T-shirt prints for over 20 years. So he's really good. And it didn't follow me. I can sketch, finger people, but or stick people, but that's it. Sorry.
We all knew what he meant.
I know you guys are just waiting for a mess up here to jump on.
Whatever.
But yeah, he loves it all, and he does it.
Bob likes to finger people. Just so you know.
He loves to do it. He does it all, and he's 85 years old. He's not getting around like he used to, but you
He's
can
still
come
there.
down there and meet him. He'll talk to you. He will talk your ear off and tell you every hunting story there is.
Pioneer.
Jamie, do you have any output or anything with that whole comment? Because I feel like you might have somebody in mind, is all I'm saying. And I think you know who I'm talking about here, but you might not want to say it. That's all. I mean,
What's her?
okay, just saying. I was okay. All right, just wondering. Just wondering.
Mom.
That's awesome.
So out of both groups here, what are you guys looking for most out of people? I mean, we just talked about how many people use the area, but like for Gibraltar duck hunters, we talked about even before the podcast started, the quality of people that you have with you and the people that want to actually do it and not just have a name for themselves. I mean, what are you guys wanting or needing from people for the people that are like wanting to get into it? Like, what are they?
Oh, just a little bit of time, really, is all it is. Just volunteering to help out with some of our events. I mean, really helping Point Mouille helps us. I mean, we partner in just about everything we do.
Yeah.
Nowadays, that's how we kind of intermingled, where, Bob runs Point Mouille, the Waterfowl Festival, but he's part of the Gibraltar Duck Hunters. Jamie and I, run Gibraltar Duck Hunters, but we're part of the Point Mouille Waterfowl Festival. We've been judging the shooting games for several years now, and we have a lot of new people that started up in the last couple of years, and we kind of put all the new guys on the judging last year, and it was cool. They had a blast.
Yeah.
And then it helped. We were able to do different things this year. I mean, I actually set up the Wi-Fi for them, and kind of helped somewhere in some of the other areas around the festival.
I ain't doing that. I'll take your check right to the bank because I don't know how to do any of the other stuff.
But there's a lot to do. I mean, in both clubs, really.
Yeah, volunteering is very important. Participation is important, but all this is open to families. I mean, we have a lot of families that volunteer, kids, parents, grandparents.
I did see a lot of kids out there last year.
Yeah,
And I just,
they come out and all our kids stuff is supervised. We have an actual kids tent. They got cotton candy and they got popcorn and they have kids games in there, and this is all free. But we have
in there telling stories about the good old days.
Yeah, and years ago we used to do face paint, and we did it all. And Dad would sit there and paint, and these kids, I think they were going to fall asleep because he was very, painting ducks on his face.
He painted their face.
Yes.
Oh my gosh!
And they were good.
Oh,
But
funny.
we've got bow and arrow that it's all supervised, so the kids can go up there and shoot. Even parents, if they want to shoot, if they ever shot, they can shoot. We got a BB gun shoot. Let me get back to the bow and arrow because I got to give the guy credit. Butch Williams has been doing it for us for years, and he's very good at it. Brings all his stuff out. We help him set up. He sets a lot of his stuff up himself. We've got Downriver Guns that comes out and does our BB gun shoot. So we're trying a new thing this coming year. If it comes to play, we'll have a target so you can shoot paintball guns at. That actually they're like a foam like target that flies in the air and you shoot it with a paintball gun. That's all free. So I mean it's free entry, free parking. We ask for a donation if you can help. We sell a lot of raffle tickets. We got to always have good prizes. There's always a shotgun, commemorative shotgun in there. Lazy boy chair, the whole 9 yards. But we've got a lot of good things happening, and coming out and like I said, just buying a raffle ticket, enjoy yourself. There's food there. We got ice cream. We've got a guy that sells popcorn. We got pizzas. So you can come down and just have lunch and walk around. It's free. There's a lot of nice things to look at. There's a lot of antique stuff. So if you're into antique waterfowl, and some of it's, It might be like farm antiques, but most of it's waterfowl. But clothes, people are selling duck calls. GK calls is there. K calls.
Hayes.
So Hayes calls, yeah.
That's one thing though in the waterfowl industry that a lot of people don't like understand. Like we were sitting here just telling like the band stories and talking about, you know, certain bands, this, that, and the other, but like the history with the decoys or, you know, like the paintings in general, like people walk past that and don't know what's in front of them.
Oh yeah.
Until you really like do some research behind it and find out what's like how much that picture is holding or
Right.
I don't know. And like I said, the history behind everything. That's what really interests me.
And we come across people that donate some old decoys. Last year, Karen Cook, who's a resident of Gibraltar, donated her grandmother's decoys that were used in Point Mouille in the 40s. So
I would love to have those.
Now there we had our last live auction. We had over 120 items, and a lot of them were old decoys. And a lot of time, this is all donated, and all the money, like I said, goes back into Point Mouille. But you never know what's there. There's some prints, and it's actually fun to watch some of the bidding wars. But it's you can get some good deals there. But like we never know what's in there. I mean, some of the stuff we have that's been donated, you know, from the beginning of the year till now. But I mean, we always have stuff that's given to us, and some of the prints. I mean, these are framed, and they're worth a lot. Jim footprints, and you know, we get a lot of stuff. Dick Tim stuff. So you never know what's going to be there. Plus, we got a beer tent that's open from noon till 8 on Saturday only, but it's corresponding with the live auction, so you can enjoy yourself. There's music. We've got DU runs our duck calling contest. You can actually win some money. Now, it's not run like an official duck calling contest. It's more of a meat callers, but it's fun. These guys get up there and they get some really good callers, and you got some callers that are like myself, that are very good, but want to get better. Well, how do you get better? You practice and get in some of these contests. And then a lot of these guys will show you how to do different calls. There's a lot of knowledge you can gain just by walking around talking to people. So if you're new at hunting, new at fishing, you can come down there and guys will tell you their tricks of the trade. So, you know, it's worth coming down there and checking it out, especially for a young kid. Everyone's eager to teach a young kid. So, you know, there's always a lot of things to do, and it's not just walk around and leave. There's stuff to do, hands-on stuff too, especially for the kids. That's our main point. That's how you get them involved.
I was going to ask you real quick, is there youth duck and goose calling competitions there, or is it just at home?
Yeah, well, they have a meat calling, and then they have individual callers.
So this was a thing last year. I had to present to the youth.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember that, Bob.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting there with Glenn with GK, like you said.
Yep.
Big shout out to GK because they give calls to all of the youth and set them up.
They had a whole
good.
stage of kids.
Yeah, I show up there in the morning, and I think we got to get there at 6 or whatever time it was, and Glenn comes up to me. He's like, hey, what are you doing at this time? I'm like, I'm at the festival, man, so probably not much. He's like, all right, cool. You got to be up on stage at that time. I'm like, wait a minute, what are you talking about? He's like, just do some like jumping jacks or like in a circle. I'm like, dude, I have no idea what I'm talking about.
Them kids loved it.
I get up on stage though, and the guy's like, oh, here's a professional duck hunter. I'm like, looking around like, who are you talking about, man? Like, it ain't me. What are you talking about? Right. And then all the parents are staring at me like I'm somebody. I'm like,
no pressure.
I'm from Gibraltar, what the heck's going on, man? Right. But that is one thing that was, you know, at first it was a thing where I was like, man, I'm not doing this. But I look back and I'm glad I did it just because those kids, the youth hunt that you guys put on, the decoys and all that stuff, that's what the kids are going to remember. And that's what keeps this hunting and stuff going on because before you know it, with everybody taking stuff away, I mean, they're taking bits and pieces at a time, like the coyote hunting this year. They took out 3 months of the coyote season, which I think is dumb, my opinion. But people think they're just going to magically get that back. They're taking and taking and taking, and we got to keep it rolling with the youth.
So a little note too about the youth hunt this year. You know, last several years it's been on the same weekend as the festival. Mm-hmm. This year it's the week after the festival.
That's pretty huge.
So it's good and bad. I like getting the kids into the festival, but it allows some of the guys working the festival now to help out and take kids if they want to hunt. And it's still up in the air, but we're looking at maybe doing something a little special for them to let them shoot or do something even after the hunt.
Yeah. So and this is the perfect opportunity to bring your kids down because they can get in the Michigan Duck Hunters tournament.
Right.
Now Saturday we have a layout championship shoot. We let the kids get in. We slow it down so they get a chance to shoot at some birds. Yeah. Now this is all, we've got really good throwers that are all radio controlled. So, and they're all set at when the adults are in, but we can slow it down for the kids. Same with the Sunday event, which is the Michigan Duck Hunters Tournament, 76. We get the kids in there. They get a competition. They go out there. They shoot six clay birds from a marsh blind, which is actually a big pontoon boat, so it's safe for them to get in and out. They're not really timed, but they get a chance to get out there and shoot, and they have a good time doing it. And and it gets them used to shooting. And I know there's some people watching, and a little bit people get nervous, even the adults. But it's all about having fun, and it's a tradition. I mean, we got punt boat we supply everything. We got punt boat races, we got rowboat races. I mean, it's fun. And then we have another thing that's like no other. I mean, we have a shooting event that no one does, but we also have one other thing that no one does. We have a thing called the Muck Run.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you right now, this is absolutely free, and you can win money. And we have one for the adult men, and we have one for the adult women, and we have one for the kids, boys and girls, and they all walk away with something. So
put waders on and run through the muck.
Yep.
This sounds like a job for a hockey player.
Yes,
it does.
Yes, sir.
Big
with good
thighs
knees.
and big ass. With good knees. I got good knees, so I'm there.
But we
might
run
do
them, and then the Brownstown Fire Department comes out and rinses everybody down. We got towels and stuff to wipe everything.
Hell yeah, I'd love to get hosed.
Yeah, but and if you've never seen it, it's at 2:30 on Sunday, which our festival runs till 3, and then we have our big raffle drawing at the end. But it's that draws a big crowd.
It's fun,
and I mean the adults can win $100, and then we usually have different things because we've got a really huge pack with the community. We got A&W, Patio Market.
Yep.
And we've got, of course, Rob Molnar here from Flow Air, who's a Gibraltar resident.
Shout out, Rob.
Yep. And he helps us out, donates to us, and participates in the stuff too. So it's a great time, and we have many sponsors, and we have actually a brochure we handle out at the festival. And we get 5,000 to 8,000 people. So if people are listening and they want to be a sponsor, they want to sponsor an event, please go to our webpage. It's easy to do. You can sign up, pay right online, and everything's done. And we actually give. We've got Facebook, and of course, that's for the older people. But we got Instagram, which I know nothing about, so don't ask me about Instagram. But
that's why you got guys over there.
Yes, we got some younger guys that are handling that. We've got our webpage that we put all the sponsors on. We've got a banner that we put out at the festival right by one of our information booths. We've got the retired steelworkers that come out and volunteer their time and sell raffle tickets in any kind of weather. So, I mean, we have Waterfowl USA that volunteers and sponsors the event. Ducks Unlimited, Gibraltar Duck Hunters. I mean, we've got everybody that comes out there, Pheasants Forever. Everyone donates because it's so important to keep this going. Not only to support Point Mouille, but to support conservation through the state of Michigan. To let everyone know this is what we do. We got the International Refuge that comes down and throws out information to just adults, kids. So if you got any questions for the International Refuge, they're there. The International Waterfowl or International Refuge Alliance comes there. They help sponsor us. I mean, it takes a village, really, to keep this going, and it takes a lot of time. And we've got 16 board members, 5 executive board members, and everyone works their tail off to get this going. And it takes 10 months to get it really packed away. A lot of it we got down because we've been doing it for so long, but getting young guys involved and getting the fresh ideas and keeping it relevant to some of the younger kids. and getting the kids involved generally is one of our missions to, hey, you got to keep this going because it's a lot of fun, a lot of camaraderie, and hunting is not just about killing. Hunting is a special time, especially for a kid. I know for me, I was a young man going in and sitting in a layout boat when I couldn't even hold a gun. So I enjoyed it. I was with my dad and my brother, and, we had a great time. So it's very important to get everyone out and enjoy yourself because that's what it's all about.
That's what I know. Me and Tim and Jamie and the rest of the guys with Gibraltar, we've talked about doing a field hunt with us this year, whether it be pigeons or whatever, like a goose hunt.
I want to film that because I've seen these guys shoot. I've never seen you shoot, Kyle, but I've seen these guys shoot.
I promise you, it probably ain't no better than that because there's some days where I can't hit water if I fell out of a boat, but there's some days I can shoot wings off of a fly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
there'll be circus music playing in the background, which is
been there, done that. But no, we've talked about it. We're just trying to figure it out. The pigeon hunting alone, we talked about a little bit. Like pigeon hunting for me is like insane. It's like a duck hunt. I don't know. It's crazy. And to have a kid.
Good warm up, right?
Warm up for the dogs, the kids. I mean, to have the kids in it where you don't got to worry about the height. You don't got to worry about,
Loudness. Yeah.
You don't got to worry about nothing. You don't got to worry about brushing in the blinds. You just sit out there as long as you got, hopefully, it's in the works still, but an adult or a guardian, I guess you want to say, maybe. Hopefully figure something out this year. The way that Bob's walking, maybe we'll get him a blind like Point Mouille has where we could wheelchair him out. Who knows how long that knee's going to last.
Knee surgery's a bitch. I'm just letting you know.
And that wasn't a dig or a big one at least. Maybe a small dig. No.
Is it knee replacement?
Knee replacement.
Oh, my mom just had both done at the same time.
Yeah. Well, God bless her. Hope she's doing good.
Well,
she just ran like a marathon, right?
She'll fall over it.
Did she do a marathon?
I'm still thinking about Zach's mom there. But that's okay.
that was a train. What?
No, does it? Anybody seen the Stanley Cups? That finished stuff or no? Sorry, but not sorry, Zach. All right. So way to go, Jamie. No,
he wants to keep pouring it on.
Yeah, no, that's good though. That's good. Zach deserves that stuff, man. Zach
it's all in
deserves
fun.
that stuff. We got the Point Mouille Festival coming up. Hopefully, some youth hunts with us. Bob, I'm glad that you brought up the sponsors because that's the one thing that I wanted to bring up too. Wanted to talk to you about afterwards and get more inside details about it. But for Gibraltar Duck Hunters Association, what do you guys have coming up? I know you guys got the dinners. You've done the docks before, the hunts.
Our big things are the youth hunt coming up the weekend after the festival, but we got the festival first.
Yeah,
we'll be working the festival. We'll be all of us. I'm sure most of the club will be around working somewhere.
And we're going to try to donate. We'll have some kind of a shoot there for the kids.
Yeah, we're thinking for the youth hunt, we're trying to maybe bring some throwers and let them shoot at some skeet.
And I'm still talking about that one sponsor still. I'm working on that.
Okay. I appreciate that.
As soon as I know,
okay,
you guys know, but I'm still working on that.
And sponsorship is hugely important because it takes a lot to put on the festival. And just like putting on this show, because getting the word out is huge. So everyone needs sponsorship. And sometimes in companies it takes, everyone gets, you're bugging them. But it never hurts to ask or it never hurts to find out what you can get for your dollar.
And that's the hard part from people because there's a lot of wrong ways of going about it as well. And I think that's what is wrong with this generation. They see all these guys on YouTube or social media aspect, and then they either go, oh, that's how every hunt's supposed to be, and I don't have to do any work. I just show up to a field or the water and be 3,000-4,000 mallards that are dumping into my face. And that's where we kind of start losing stuff, and they start asking for handouts, and they don't want to put that work behind the scenes in because that's a thing where nobody really shows anymore. And to be able to talk to you guys about what goes behind the festival or the dinners or the youth hunts and stuff, that's that's important for people to understand how much goes into it, and time away from our family and friends, and that what we, not saying that we don't want to do that stuff, but what we actually want to do or what we could be doing besides that. I mean, it takes a lot, you know,
Right.
and people just don't see that. I know Gibraltar, you guys were at the festival the entire time. I mean, pick up the finish. I mean,
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we're there. I mean, the hardest part of
start-
the whole festival is picking it up.
Yeah,
really.
we start
Yeah.
Thursday morning usually,
Yeah.
and we don't end till Sunday around 6.
yeah. So, I mean,
And then there's Monday work to pick up road signs.
and that's what's
So-
crazy though, because nobody sees that.
No.
You know, and it's
It's a-
hard.
Yeah, and it's you know, it's to bring awareness to the conservation effort, and also we raise money to put stuff back into Point Mouille, and then being a heavily used area, people need to know. I'm like, yeah, you like to hunt there, but you need to help support it too. I know you're buying your license, you're buying your guns and your ammo. That all helps, you know, greatly appreciated. But coming to the festival and seeing what's there, I mean, if you've never been there, it's pretty interesting. We've had people travel from a long ways just because they seen it in the magazine, and they want to see what it's like.
I've heard that.
And that's what kills me. And before I say this, Jamie, you got anything to say about Zach's mom, or are you good?
No, we're going to Zach's mom.
Okay. But what kills me is like the people that complain about something but
Yes.
don't do nothing about it. You know, and that
Right.
even goes back to like our turkey season with like the trapping with coons or coyotes or whatever, to the fawns,
Or need
to
a couple bucks for gas or something like that.
or Zach's mom. I don't know. But just saying though, like, don't complain if you're not going to do nothing about it.
Get
Right.
involved.
Right.
Yes. Contribute.
Because there's a lot of ways to get involved. There's you know, like I mentioned, the 5 groups. I mean, any of them groups, get involved. If pheasants is what you like to do, pheasant hunt, get involved.
Well, I can go a lot further than that, though, because there's a lot of people that use that area, right? There's a lot of people that just walk it, hike it, bird watch it, fish it. I mean, those people can come down and volunteer for this, the event for
absolutely.
the festival, right? They should be, they would feel really good if they signed up to volunteer for the festival, come down, spend a day. They don't have to spend 4 days like a lot of us do, but spend a day. Come hang out. They would love the extra help because you need it. A lot
Check
of the
us
guys
out.
a lot of the guys that are involved in the festival club itself, they're, let's call it just what it is. They're older. They've been around here a long time, and they could use some extra
They've
help.
put their
around
dues
there.
in.
Yeah, they've helped.
already.
Oh, yeah.
I mean-
and they're still here doing their thing every weekend.
Plus, I got a bad knee, and I'm going to need a lot of help.
You're gonna need a lot more than that, Bob. I'll tell you. No, but for me, even though, like I said, we're coming to the festival for a couple of years, and then actually not really getting too involved with it, but being there and like witnessing all that. I mean, that was my favorite time out of everything last year. Just being there, talking to everybody. I mean, like it's so much fun compared to just walking around and dipping out. There's so much there that you really just gotta dive into, and I don't know, like being able to talk to everybody was a huge thing for me last year.
Oh, yeah,
and it was awesome.
And I see people there. I've been seeing the same people there for over 30 years.
Don't say that.
Oh, yeah.
Say 10.
It's been a long
It's
time.
been 30, but some
But
of these
it-
faces
it-
would be great.
And a lot of hunting stories. Some of it's BS, but it's a lot of hunting stories.
Oh, man.
But it's fun. But like I said, I mean, people say, well, there ain't a lot of people that go there. Well, last year we had like 7,000 people. And it's hard to count them.
Well, it's all day
Right.
long. That's
We
why
got-
they're in and out.
We got people that count ducks and told me how many people we had there. So if a guy can count how many ducks are flying around
Right.
out of an airplane, then if he's telling you that there's that many people there, hell yeah, he's right, and I believe it.
I think for people like that are new or even veteran to the sport, I think it's a great way to network, meet other people, meet other hunters,
Absolutely.
meet people from these different call companies, from these different distributors that are selling their equipment there. And
Well, if you're looking for a hunt too,
yeah,
there's
if you're looking
people
for a
that's-
hunt, you're looking for a dog. I mean,
guide,
guide,
right,
anything, yeah.
anything like that. And if you're new, it's a great way to network. It's a great way to get involved and give back to the land that we use.
Even some of the ways giving back. I mean, there's another event coming up that's just a fun event, and it contributes to that Bill Barrow sporting, the sporting clay
Bill-
street.
It's a memorial for Bill Barrow, who was our board member at the time, passed away. He owned Redskins. Many people knew him. He was a big hunter. His dad was like a huge hunter.
They've done some crazy work on that place lately.
Oh yeah, they're redoing the whole thing. Randy Taylor and Jessica Taylor, and they've been really
Looks really good.
Really turned it around, and I shouldn't say turn it around, but modernized it.
Yeah, for sure.
So if anybody's been in there, it used to be a trough. Now there's actually urinals.
Do they have
in
food
there.
yet?
No food. They're talking about getting like food trucks on certain days.
That's perfect.
They still got the skeleton in the corner.
No, that's gone.
So
That's gone.
Fine, I know you've been gone. It's the bar right next to the Metro Park.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
So-
right across from the bait store.
Yeah.
There was a skeleton in the corner that
What's
I don't
it
know.
called again?
Redskins.
Redskins.
That's
Yes.
right. Yep.
A skeleton in the corner that was from Michigan State, if I'm not mistaken. They were throwing it out. It's a real skeleton that State was throwing out, and
Bill got it.
it's,
Someone got it. We don't know how it got there.
Don't crib it. Like don't
Well,
put
Bill's
him
not
in.
here, and I don't think he cares now. But how it got there, I don't know. But it was there for a very long time.
And that was a whole I don't know.
And believe it or not, no one really touched it.
No.
I didn't want to touch it. It's kind of scary because it's real.
It's real.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's just in general the I'm just drew a huge blank. I looked at Jamie, gave me that look, and just threw me off there.
Finish. To talk about the shoot more and kind
Yeah,
of
shoot.
No, I'm sorry. Anyways, I kind of got it. You
Thank
guys
you,
get me
Tim.
off tangent here. What I'm thinking about, but the Bill Barrow Memorial Sporting Clay Shoot is held at the Canvasback Gun Club, and $60 for 17 and older, $40 for 16 and under. So, but we have a steak dinner. We have 2 choices of turtle soup, different ways made. I don't know. One's traditional, and one's kind of a
cacciatore.
Cacciatore kind of.
If you've never had a turtle soup, it's really good.
It's
is
really
very
really
good.
good.
Now, what is it? 21 different meats, is it?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah,
What turtle? It's
turtle meat.
Turtle meat.
Oh,
Yeah,
I think it's got like some crazy amount of like
Different
actual
flavors.
flavored meat
Yep.
inside
Oh,
of
wow.
a turtle.
did
Yep.
not know that.
yep.
So that's 2 things today. There's
And
jellyfish in Lake Erie, and turtles got
they're in
X amount.
Gibraltar right now.
Yes.
So
not the turtles, the jellyfish.
don't eat the jellyfish.
But yeah, turtles are crazy.
We have and it's a fundraiser for us, but it's a fun time. We go out there and shoot, bring our own gun and shells, and it's for the price. It's a good time. We have a mystery shoot, so if you shoot 0 or 50, you got a chance to win some money.
I'll be on the low end of that, but
Yeah,
we'll see what happens.
it's fun. I mean, everyone has a good time. They have a really good course. They have some hard shots, and they make it easy so everyone can at least shoot some birds.
And then there's
So-
a steak dinner. It's a cook your own steak on the charcoal grill
And beer.
and beer. Yep.
So we got big raffles, and then we're doing a meat raffle, which has 6 prizes. The top one is a $500 gift card to Highlight Market, $300 to I think it's Cattleman's, $250 to Jerome's Market for half a hog,
Man.
and then we got Lee's Market in there, and so we've got a good. I wish I had the ticket. with
And
me
I
to
have tickets
remember.
in my truck if you would like some.
That's what's crazy, and I
Huh?
will say
We can
Yeah.
figure that out. Yeah. Yep.
that's what's crazy.
You'll actually be able to do it online
Oh, all right.
after tomorrow because I got to call our website person.
You can do it with Venmo with me, and I can sell my tickets.
I have no idea.
Hell yeah.
Do that.
And then
I don't even know what Venmo is.
So
Did you say the Barrow shoot is actually on the 27th?
It's
right?
July
Let
27th.
me get the date out.
It starts at 9 o'clock. We have a shotgun start. Last year we had 88 people, and we're pretty much done by 2 o'clock. We're done. Most people are done shooting by 11:30, and then we have a make or break, which is a shooting game, and half the proceeds go to the Ida trap team. So, and it's fun. You can actually
Which is
win
one of
some
the
money.
places we donate to as well.
Yeah.
One of the members,
His son is also
His son, okay.
is on the
Son's a
Ida
member.
trap team.
Yeah, Mark.
And it's we have a good time doing it. It's fun, a lot of camaraderie, a lot of stories again. It's a good fun time. Good group of guys at that gun club. They treat us actually too good. So, but it's it's easy to get to. It's right by the Monroe County Fairgrounds, I'm sure you could Google it and find out where you want to go. But if you need tickets, we'll be at Redskins sometime next month selling. And just check with our Facebook. Join our Facebook. Follow us. It'll also be on our website. And you can actually contact me if you go to the Facebook. I'll make sure you get a ticket. So we're going to try to set it up all online, too. So that'll make it easier. And all our stuff is sponsorship, all our information to sign up for the Trading Post. This year is same as last year. The first spot's free. The art tent's $75 because we have to pay for that tent. So, and we have a decoy show. So we're hoping we'll be able to fill these tents right up. So it's going to be, it should be a fun event. I mean, last year we had, like I said, we had a lot of people. We had great weather.
A lot of prizes.
Yeah.
I mean, two things on that and I fall in the category with the busyness of myself with, I should be at more events like that because
It happens.
But like the gift cards and all that stuff that you could actually win with that. I mean, that's insane that more people don't jump right at it.
I mean, we print just under 1,000 tickets. Okay, we don't sell 1,000. We'd like to sell 1,000.
Right.
But normally we're around 4,000 tickets, and we sell they're either $10 a piece or 3 for $20, and it's a good. I mean, it's probably better odds to buy them than it would be to buy Michigan Lottery. And the money goes where? To Point Mouille and Conservation. So when you're a hunter, fisherman, I mean, that's important to get involved, and that's one way you can get involved.
And Fonz, you know who Mark is, and his boy he is the one that I took out turkey hunting this past year. I'll tell you what, that it was a crazy kind of hunt in the morning with Mark and his boy. I thought for sure we were going to get the job done because I think we were chasing that bird 3 days in a row.
Oh, geez.
And it hung out about 50 yards every single day. But going back to like that youth, like bringing youth out and getting them involved with it all, it's hard to beat. It really is. Like with them just hearing like a gobble or like seeing birds flying in, like you can't top it. No. You know, it's so tough. I don't know. It's crazy, like when you have those opportunities and you don't take the kids out. I don't know. It's hard to explain.
I mean, a lot of that is before the hunt, after the hunt, during the hunt. When you're talking to them, hey, anything can happen.
Right.
It can be done in a second, or you're going to be out there for a little bit.
Yeah.
But enjoy it. Listen to the birds. Listen to the woods opening up. It is pretty surreal. Makes you, in my age, and I'm sure you guys too, when you're sitting in the woods and you hear all that, you really think about what's going on.
I mean, there's those stages of hunting, though, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, it's like the kill stages and then the pile stages and then just taking people out and just sitting back and relaxing. Or the dogs are running out of gas in the middle of Saginaw Bay.
It happens. Happens to the best of us.
Or your battery goes dead.
Or a battery goes dead. You got to call someone to drive an hour out to give you a battery.
I did hear that story now that you say that.
Yes.
Yeah, that was good.
See,
I didn't mind it. I didn't mind it at all. I'll help anybody when I can. But they just caught me because I was ready to go to Ohio deer hunting.
Oh.
And if they would have waited 15 more minutes,
Sayonara.
Yep, I was gone.
Yeah,
but I
was that guy is.
We'd still be floating there. Right?
We
So-
would be.
I was late getting to my Friday, our informational meeting at deer camp, which involves, a lot of information.
Copious amounts of beer.
I was going to say, a lot of beer.
There's some beer. There's
I missed
some
the first six-pack.
heavy teasing and ragging on people and enjoying it.
Right.
Guys I haven't seen all the
Deer camp.
for years. It's a regular deer camp
Right.
thing.
Yep.
Yeah, it's all good fun.
Right. That's are you guys planning on doing more trips like that, like the Saginaw trip again?
Yeah,
this
we
year?
were just talking about it. I still got a call to see if we got a room there. We're thinking maybe first weekend in November.
Mm-hmm.
So anyone interested that's affiliated can come up and just trying to get a count. I need to see what's open that weekend and then book some stuff and then see what we can fill.
And we go up to St. Mary's River opening day, up to
Okay.
UP, and that's a lot of fun.
How is the UP? Because I've never been up there to duck hunt. I've been up to the middle
It was so. The weather was too nice,
It's been all right.
but I had I had a blast.
And a quick word from our sponsors from Trav.
We want to give a shout out to Miger Ammunitions, the originator of the patent stack load. They make custom waterfowl ammunition and new this year turkey loads. If you want to find out more information on them, you can check them out on Instagram, Facebook, or go to their website at migerammunitions.com. Tag Miger Ammo to show your success stories. We also want to thank GK Calls. GK Calls are the innovators of waterfowling gear since 1999, family owned and operated. You can check them out on Instagram or also go to their website at www.gkcalls.com.
I had my dog. He retrieved some ducks. You know, it was a good time. The weather was actually really too nice. But, but I mean, we had a great time. We were right on the river, you know, watching the freighters go by. We had a tremendous time. I just enjoyed it.
And that's what, like, out of the comfort zone, I guess you want to say, of like your own city or like your limits.
Yep.
Going out, like for me, we go up to, like, for the middle zone opener. And just going up there, and I don't care if we shoot 2 ducks or whatever it is, just to see different, like, ground or water or just something different.
Area, absolutely.
Yeah, you know, it's something different. And then for you fans, like, coming from Wisconsin, I mean, it's going to be completely different this year.
Oh, 100%. But it's going to be different in a good way that I'm looking forward to. So, yeah.
If your brother goes this year, he'll have a lot to talk about.
Back in Wisconsin, yeah.
He lived in Wisconsin, and the
What
whole
part?
joke is
He's in Lodi, just out of Madison there. So
Okay, so he's by the
Madison's 30
Horicon.
minutes out, yeah.
But every story he had started with, "Well, I was in Wisconsin."
Yeah.
Back when I was in
I
Wisconsin.
swear I feel like I talk like that too now. I say a horse apiece. That no one says that here.
No.
I don't even know what that is.
A horse exactly. And when I would say that to Wisconsin people, they're like, "What do you mean? It just means 2 of the same thing." It's like robbing Peter to pay Paul type of analogy. Have you ever heard that? You've heard that one, right? So it's like the same. It's like, oh, a horse piece. Oh, it's the same thing.
I'm out of the loop then, because I've never heard either one of them.
No.
And then they call a water fountain a bubbler. Have you heard that?
No.
When I said water fountain, I'm like at the YMCA one day, and I'm like working. I'm like, I was like, I didn't bring a water bottle.
What
I'm
do
like,
they
"You got
call
water
a
fountain?"
what do they call a vacuum cleaner?
I don't know. Oh God, poor Zach.
So in Indiana, I lived in Indiana. It was called a sweeper.
Oh really?
They called it and I'm like, no, that's your broom. But they called the vacuum a sweeper.
And right next door to
It's
each other,
weird, yeah.
statewide, so it's like
It's
yeah,
weird.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'll tell you what. Out of the years we've had in the past, they've been some really good years for us out in the fields. And hopefully this year you guys come out with us.
Absolutely.
Because I know we talked about it last year, but last year was kind of early where like it was kind of like in the early stages of knowing each other.
Yeah, we weren't sure.
It for sure is.
We weren't sure.
I might be less sure now.
I don't know, Jamie, man, what's going on?
Nah, he likes Zach's mom too much. So he gets a pass. But
A little skinny for me.
whoa.
You're lucky.
Where's the dog, Jamie?
Right there.
You got peanut butter. Okay, I got you. Hopefully this year you guys get to come out, Bob, you too, with the like hunting the fields and stuff, and get the experience, you know, sharing the blind with each other this year.
Absolutely.
As long as you guys like joking around and laughing.
Yeah.
Yeah, we hate that.
You know, I don't like, I really don't like hunting with anybody that's too serious. I mean, you're serious when the birds are coming in. You got to make sure you don't spook them, right?
It's tough because in the morning time, like when I'm setting the decoy, so our group here, which we're gonna like condense it a lot this year because as we're growing as a group, I feel like, you know, it's not that like we're this, so we're only gonna take these people out. It's nothing like that, but it's. I want to take people that are appreciative over the opportunity.
Right.
Yes.
Like turkey hunting this year was pulling teeth, and I'm trying to tell people it's like, you know, we have all this property, all these birds out here. How are you passing up on this stuff when people would die for the opportunity just to jump to this field, to that field, to this field, whatever? And same with the bird hunting. Like nobody gets to do this stuff around us. So if you don't appreciate the 10 birds that we shot that morning, then I'm sorry, it's probably just not.
Right.
Maybe next time when we got a lot. But anyway. I just lost my train of thought there.
Well, I would like to invite you guys, you and Alyx, out to go layout shooting. I know you got busy schedules, but you know we're not. We go out with a group of guys, usually there's 2 or 3 or 4 of us, and we like joking around, laughing. We cook on the boat, and we have a good time. We love it. So so if there's an opportune time for you guys, let me know.
You'll have to let me know about that for sure, because that's I've said it for years now. I want to do that layout shoot.
Yeah.
It's just so tough, man, because I love my fields.
Yeah,
and that's
I understand.
the seriousness. Like when I get there in the morning, don't talk to me. I got the decoys. I'm setting the decoys up. You guys get the blinds and just let me do what I'm going to do, because I'll set the decoys 100 yards away from the blind from us, and they're like, we can't shoot that far. And it's like, yeah, I know, because the birds aren't going to land there.
Yeah.
That's why I'm putting them out there. They're going to land right here.
You're gonna block them out there, yeah.
Well, that or like they're
That's what makes me.
well, it's just, I'm so anal about the stuff. Like I will sit there and watch these birds for hours, knowing that I'm only going to hunt them 3 days from now, and they're not going to do the same thing because a cold front or a warm front's coming in. But I still want to learn from it. So I'll set the decoys 100 yards away, but I'll just kind of trickle them in and slowly get thicker as I go towards the blind. And they're freaking out. And what do you know? The birds are landing 20 yards back, flapping right in front of us. But there's so much room for they're not paying attention to our blind or our little spot. They're paying attention to the whole spread. They're moving their head the entire time, and they're not focusing in on one area.
And it only takes one guy to poke his head up and says, there they are.
Yep.
And then it's
Ask you guys too with the layout hunting, because that's not something I'll be honest with you, I'm not very. I mean, I know quite a bit about it, but I'm not very well versed on it via experience. Is there a way that you guys scout for layout hunting?
Not really.
Not really. I mean, just when the birds are down here. You kind of
see where
they're down here on the water, when they've come down and they're on the water and they're in the rafts.
Like I think James was just going to say, that morning you'll go out right at dusk.
Right.
Watch the path.
Yeah.
Or at dawn. Dawn.
You're right.
Yeah, and watch them. I mean, you'll see the path they're taking.
Yeah.
And you kind of, and then you kind of go set up somewhere in that path. And
Got it. Okay.
A lot of times
there is some scouting in the morning. I mean, throughout the week, you're going down there, just making a run through the park and see what's sitting out there.
Right.
Just hoping some birds showed up. Fresh birds, because like this year was horrible.
There was.
You drive down there.
Yeah.
Be nothing.
Yeah. There was some good days, but
I remember
the way I do it, I watch where they're flying.
Yeah.
And then I try to set up where they're going. Or where they're,
in between.
Or in between. And a lot of times, I mean, I learned at a young age, I'm like, come on, let's go, Dad. It's, 7 o'clock. Come on. It's getting light out at 6:30, whatever time it is. Oh, we got time.
Yeah.
And we're out there at 9:30.
Yep.
And, everyone else has been out already. And I'm like, oh, God. And it took me a while to figure you don't have to, and that's the nice thing about layout shooting. You don't have to be up at 3 in the morning and get a spot.
Yep.
Right.
You can almost set up anywhere, but watching where the birds fly and how they fly is very important, because there's certain areas that they like to fly.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to give any other details because that gives my spots away. But, I mean, a lot of guys that know us, they know where we set up. It's usually generally in the same spot. But we perch fish.
Okay.
So we've been known to move just to find the fish if the ducks aren't there. So
smart.
Yeah, it works. I tell you what,
I like that a lot.
When you're shooting ducks and catching perch, it's a blast. And there's some days we went out where we know the morning's going to be good. Whoever's in the first time in the layout, 2 guys, then they're going to have all the shooting, but we're going to be perch fishing. So that's the way it works. And then some days you can't put a pole in there because you're going to get ducks.
Yeah.
But the guys that aren't hunting are fishing. So, or eating.
Your dad's always cooking them.
I remember I came home for the split this year. I came home and I was visiting, and we went out on my boat and scouted around with a buddy of mine. And there was a raft of like 300 birds, and that was all we saw. And you're used to seeing thousands
flying up in the sky.
I was like, I told him, I said, Packer, I go, we're getting out of here. I go, it's not even worth looking. I go, if the divers aren't here and we're following the same pack of 400 divers, nothing's here. And you just know it,
Well, there's a lot of things that contribute to not seeing ducks other than weather. Because when they are here, and it's nice out, you got all the perch fishermen, walleye, bass fishermen out.
Moving birds around.
And then, people just flying up and down. And duck hunters are notorious too, trying to get to the spot as fast as they can get there. Not thinking, hey, you're jumping these birds, you're spooking them. And they're leaving.
It seemed like,
So,
I mean,
food's a factor also. I mean, obviously that's major, but
right. For me, like an outsider's perspective, like from the fields to like looking at the water, it seemed like early October, mid-October-ish, a push of divers came in.
Mm-hmm.
It was a lull there. Maybe a small push came through.
Yeah.
That was really it.
yeah.
Second weekend of the season, we got divers.
Yeah.
And that was unheard of.
Same in Wisconsin too. That beginning of the end of October, we had a humongous push of divers. I actually shot my first canvas back, and it was beautiful. I should have got it mounted. It was
Wow, definitely should have.
I mean, yeah, it was awesome. They were in, but they were only in for those 2 days. It felt like, and then it was just after that was desolate. There was really no more push. You felt,
Yeah.
That's the hardest thing, I feel like mounting a bird, though. Because it's always like, man, it could be a little bit better.
Yeah, that's
but then
what
it's
I
like you
said.
look back at it and you're like,
He was
I messed up big time.
He was more. I expected him to be more white in the belly,
Oh.
and it was more gray.
Gray,
Like maybe he was sitting in brackish water somewhere.
No,
Or
we
he's a
shoot
juvenile.
we shoot early birds. It's just notorious for us to shoot, juvenile or early birds or young in the plumage. They go down south and they get beautiful, and then they fly back up here to to do their thing.
Yeah.
But it's we get
Just a cycle.
yeah, we just don't get the beautiful birds that they get down south.
Right.
You really got to take the travel down south to get those birds when they're
If you really want to see them good, go to Lake Erie Metro Park.
Right now. Or in
Park
the
out
springtime.
there.
Yeah.
Right after
now
duck
they're
season's
all
over,
plumed out.
and then you'll see a ton of them. But that's just the way it is sometimes.
Yeah, and you start seeing like bands up the wazoo and just some crazy sea ducks and that's the thing too where I've said it a couple times where I've been hearing that the sea ducks have really been moving in lately on Lake Erie.
I didn't see that many this year, but I think we shot like 2 scoters and.
I mean that's kind of new though, isn't it? Like
No, I mean, when I was a kid, I remember shooting them.
Oh, okay, maybe
I mean, there was a harlequin shot.
this year there was
No,
too.
not this year. It was a couple years ago.
Falwell shot
Steve
the one.
Falwell,
Yes.
But that's not unheard of.
Here?
According to my dad, he's seen them.
Somebody gets lost
So-
every year. Yeah.
Someone's have shot, not him, but he's heard of them being shot out there.
We got them old squaws that are really coming on, like in
Yeah.
Saginaw Bay and like Huron. For some reason, they don't really get that final push to here, but
It's a
again,
flight
I think
path.
that's
A lot of it's
And that's a thing where when I'm scouting for geese wise, I'm looking at the winds all week. And just because we have a south wind here doesn't mean 20 minutes, 30 minutes north of us has a south wind.
Right.
Because they could be shooting dead north, like all the way from Canada, from Hudson Bay. And that's kind of telling me, like, that's where them birds are going to be stopping at, staging at for a little bit. So I have this small little window right here where they could be, I got a good opportunity with them. And same with the water. I mean, I've had, maybe early October, late September, maybe. I've had blues, snows, and specks fly over us. But after a heavy west wind pushing them birds, but the west wind was coming all the way from the Dakotas, pushing all the way through. But, looking at that kind of stuff, I mean, it I don't know, it helps out a lot for me anyway. I don't know. But anything for you guys other than the events that we've talked about coming up? I mean, events that you want to talk about anyway?
I do. I got a couple.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's pretty
Well,
much.
before Bob starts talking,
Barb?
Barb.
That's my grandma's name, man. Come on.
So I just want to recap that youth hunt coming up. Just watch out for them on the GDHA, our website, our Facebook page. We'll start promoting the youth hunt weekend because there's a sign up for that. We only allow 50 kids in, or try to keep it around 50. We always end up a little over, depending on who all shows up.
Right.
But that'll start coming out here probably, next week or two. We're going to get that posted out there, get the sign-ups going on that, because before you know it, it's going to be September. So that's going to start going out. And it's nice to get some new, some new faces in on that.
Yes.
So make sure everybody's going to look out for that.
And now, you guys got the Facebook. I know you guys have an Instagram, but are you guys using Instagram much?
Probably not. I'm probably the only one that.
We're too old for that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I try. I know how to use it. I don't
Point
think to
Mouille
get on there
Waterfall
much.
Festival is on
Bob, you
top
gotta do
of
me a
stuff.
favor. You gotta take the glasses off because you're talking about how old everybody is. Then you put your glasses on, you're throwing me off. Here, man.
And the one's all fogged.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
Well, these
yeah.
are my old glasses because I don't want to wreck my new glasses.
I'm gonna stop you right there because I'm helping you out as a friend here. Okay, you can't be talking about the old glass and the new
and
glass.
if I take my glasses off, I can't see. So that's my issue.
I'll look better that way.
Yeah, I don't gotta wear this paper bag anymore. You're telling me?
But for GDHA, that's our big one coming up. So it's we're pretty excited for another year of that. And I don't know, I'm mixed right now because it's not on the same weekend as the festival. I think Bob's excited because he gets us to himself, and
Yes.
we get to help out there, and we're
A little more than in our bit more capacity.
yeah, because we're usually splitting our time
And
between
vice
using-
versa,
doing the
because
year
that
fun.
gives allow our group to help them with the
Yeah.
youth to
Yeah.
put on some kind of a shooting event.
And take out kids.
And take out
because
kids.
they're so busy that weekend
Yeah.
they haven't been able to do that in years.
So how does that work with the youth? Do you guys need mentors or facilitators to
Well,
take out, or how does that work with?
I mean, if they don't have someone to take them out and you know them, you can take them out. I mean, we used to quote unquote guide way back, and we had
Take your buddy's kids. Take if you get a 10-month-old baby, right? Take your buddy's kid out, and then bring him to the youth hunt, right?
Yeah.
Show him, take a friend out, take somebody's kid out, somebody that you know. We stopped doing the whole guiding thing and
liability
And that's-
reasons
Yeah, it's just
because
how
we're
it
just a
works.
bunch of local guys that
Because that was the hard part when it was the first meeting that I went to, and I think it was right after the festival. I think it was that over the VFW.
Yep.
That was the whole thing with like the what happens if this happened there, like there's no insurance, you know what I mean, like the insurance level of it all. I mean, it's
So so you're really we're not guiding, we're providing the barbecue for them after and giving them stuff, but you can but if somebody wants to take a kid out, relative, friend's kid, whatever, sign them up.
There's a lot of educational stuff there.
Yeah, so we'll bring in the content, the wildlife, the DNR will come and speak, the feds will come down there for us.
And Waterfowl USA does partner with us on that.
Yes,
I just want to mention that
yeah.
they're the ones who provide the
That's
decoys
Joe,
typically.
Joe Robeson, his guys.
And they do help out. They always take kids out and
They're really
they
huge.
sign
They do
them
all
up.
the decoys. They supply all the decoys for all the kids.
Yep.
So they get some sort of duck or goose decoys, a box, that they'll get, and then usually they get the donation from Tony Pacos.
Lanyard
Yep.
too.
One of the
No,
guys in there.
Lanyard calls.
They come always, he always comes up with something extra. So it's
And then DNR actually has been providing the calls
Yeah.
over the last couple of years too.
I will say the GK duck call for the 75th anniversary was probably one of the prettiest calls I've seen in a very long
Nice.
time. That
That's a
red
good sounding call,
cherry.
too.
It is.
I mean, that was a very
I got to hand it to them. They
not
helped
just
us
saying
out.
that because they're a sponsor, but like that was a beautiful call. Though.
That limited edition University of Michigan call.
Yeah.
I'm kind of partial to that.
Go Blue.
So I think that was I was really cool. That was awesome.
And they've been very
And I have one of
generous
each.
over the years with not only us but other groups and kids. He's
Well-
willing to do whatever it takes to get kids involved.
Glenn and everybody that's a part of that, whether it's his dad, Paul, I mean, just everybody a part of that team over there. They, you could say this about a lot of people, but they will take the shirt off their back. They'll go the extra mile whenever you need them to. I mean, they donated I could be wrong, Michigan call for
our dinner last
Yes,
year.
correct,
They did
yeah.
donate that, and that was like $100 call or whatever.
And that was only
$7,500, yeah.
a certain amount of calls on that. So to be able to just take that one call
Yeah.
and place that out, I don't know. It
It
just
was a
says
donation. They said it was very limited edition. They did donate one.
It says a lot about the people over there and,
Oh, yeah.
and giving back to the community and getting the kids involved.
I think that's very important.
100%.
And they know
100%.
that too.
Yeah.
We need
'Cause they're their
somebody to go pick
future.
up them ducks.
All them companies, it's the future is what they should be looking for. Because the next generation is the one's going to be using your stuff. Yeah.
Right. There's a question that I have, and it's going to be a broad question. I just thought this I didn't just think this, but it's off the top of my head. The Waterfowl Festival. It's been a big talk on the time of year we've had it.
Yeah. Oh, I've heard that a lot. Yeah.
You don't sound too happy about this.
Well, we've heard August. Do it in August before hunting season. Well, you ever been down there at Point Mouille in August? Well, last year it was 90 degrees. You're down there when it's 70. It's hot, no wind. It's just a particular area. It's boxed in, and it's not a big area, because if it was, we could have a lot more stuff going on. It's been historically September. It used to be right after the weekend after Labor Day. So we've been trying to change it, but the way my whole thing is, and we've been trying to, everyone's been talking about it for years. Everybody, even outside people, giving us advice, and I appreciate it. But the problem is, it's we never had that early goose season. It was never an issue. Now we got early goose season. Doesn't really affect teal season that much. But I wish we could change it. If someone wants to take my position, they can change it. But our plans are to keep it there. And my whole philosophy is, if you haven't shot enough geese by then, I mean, it's only 2 days, and no one says you can go there. You don't have to go there all day. You can come in the afternoon.
Right.
Yeah. Go hunt in the morning, come in. Easy.
You can come in the morning, hunt in the afternoon, evening.
Take your pick.
So I mean, it's there's always something going on. We looked in other weekends. There's big events going on. There's street fairs, and like I said before, back in the day, there was no competition. That was it. That's where you went to buy your decoys, unless you ordered from a catalog. And it's, you buy your shells there, everything.
If you go into August, you got school still out.
Yep.
People are on vacation. They're mad because they can't make it because they're doing their family stuff.
So it's like
It's a
catch-22.
It's a horse apiece.
Horse apiece, however you want to say it. It's I mean, I'd love to be able to change it, but I'd like to change it to the spring. I don't know, but it's a crapshoot.
I mean, it's a double-edged sword, whatever way you look at it.
Yeah.
Right? Whether it be the heat or vacation, August, September during season. My opinion, not that it matters any. The amount of guides, like goose guides, and stuff. I mean, I feel like there'd be a lot of more outfitters that would show up, and they would bring people and have people showing up for it.
Well, we still got late season.
You know what those outfitters need to do? Just send a representative.
Yeah.
They can go out and do their
Very
job.
true.
And do their
And we-
thing.
Very true.
They can find a guy, find a girl.
Yeah.
Come
Yeah.
put up a table. First one's free, right? First table's free.
Right.
If they want to,
That was
come sell
75th,
stuff, they
no?
get more.
This year too.
Oh, this year too. Okay.
We're gonna run it again. Yeah. First one's free. Second one's $75.
$75.
So
Go
whole
anywhere and
weekend.
try to
Come
sell
on in.
anything for $75 at a festival.
Yes.
You can't find that anywhere.
So it sounds like we might have a tent set up with Gibraltar Duck Hunters Association on it, with a sock on the door of it, all wrapped around. Not saying who's inside of it, but Jamie and somebody.
I'm down. Let's go.
That's what I was looking for right there.
I'm down. Let's go.
But I don't know. That was my 2 cents about it all. Everybody's got their ifs, ands, and buts about it all. But at the end of the day, you can't complain if you ain't going to do nothing to change it or make a change for it.
But that's when it comes along, when guys volunteer, especially the younger generation, comes out and comes up with ideas.
Right.
And I ideas bad. I mean, I'll listen to anything.
got one
I've
more
been
for
hearing
you.
that for 20 years. Change it. But you run into complications with that because there's all kinds. So we're trying to find, as of right now, the 14th and 15th, because the way it fell is the second weekend, sort of, or it could be the third, depending on how you figure how the dates fell.
Right.
But we always try to keep the third weekend, keep it off the bigger events. I know it's during goose season, early season. I mean, like I said, you can go hunt in the morning, come out. We have guys that come out, they hunt in the morning, come down there with all their gear. They're walking around. And
I remember talking to some guys last year, literally buying calls from the booth.
Yeah.
Going out the next morning, shooting a limit of geese in the morning and then coming back to the festival and telling us about the calls that they just bought and they shot X amount of birds.
That's awesome.
It's just one of those things where it's cool to like be able to talk about it. And I feel like, like I said, moral of the story is don't complain if you're not doing nothing about it.
Right. Get involved.
Right.
It's the best way you can change stuff, best way that you can contribute. Get involved, whether it's monetary or your volunteerism.
Right.
So get involved is the most important.
I mean, I get it. The hunting season isn't that long. We got a 60-day duck season. You got to extend it on the front end with the geese and the back end. Got some extra days in there, but to give up a couple of days to do something worthy and fun is.
I goose hunt too, and of course I miss 4 days, and I can't absolutely go.
Right.
I mean, I'd love to. We used to, but I got a little bit more responsibility that I got to be there. But I enjoy it, and I love contributing back and getting people involved.
I feel like a lot of it, though, is like, what are you looking for when you go there? Because it goes back to, like, the decoys or the paintings or, like, what like, are you really looking at the big picture, or you just kind of get the side shields on and just walking through?
I think when people get there, they kind of look and say, yeah, there's more than what I thought, because there's boats.
For sure. Yeah.
Right.
I mean, there's all kinds of stuff there, not just,
Last year seemed like a great turnout compared to years
last
previous.
year. That Saturday was busy. It was
After
great
COVID
turnout.
really hurt us.
I mean, we almost ran out of calls, T-shirts. I mean, which that's a huge thing that's coming for us this year. Like, we have our main logo. This year we're coming out with 5 new logos. Waterfowl logo, deer logo, turkey logo, fishing logo. I mean, a bunch of new stuff coming in. So I'm looking forward to like having that on the table along with, working with GK this year and stuff and meeting new people with the podcast there too. And with it being our first time last year, didn't know what to really expect. So I'm really looking forward this year with the help that we have now and talking to more people, getting to know more people there and stuff too.
When you realize where the money goes, how important is it to gain monies for conservation versus killing a few birds?
So I just talked to
it's a big deal.
Steve Moorhead today.
Yep, I know Steve.
He's going to be coming on the podcast within the next month or so.
He's actually our peanut vendor there too.
Really?
Yes. Yes.
Your
peanut. Peanut. He brings roasted. I better make it sound good because he's one of our sponsors. But it's like roasted nuts. He does that stuff. Plus, he helps the Ducks Unlimited crew with the calling.
He's the Southeast DU director.
Yes.
So.
But he is all. I mean, I think
he's also the peanut guy.
Yeah. He's also, and I think I want to say his wife comes out, his kids, his family.
I never knew that.
But he's a super great guy. A lot of knowledge in that gentleman. He's a great guy to talk to.
But that was one of the big topics today with like just getting to know him today was, what people can do to give back and just giving back to the community, giving back to what they use and them not understanding like the behind the scenes and like the reason for the podcast today was like, explaining in details of what you guys do and I guess us like with teaming up with Gibraltar and stuff and what's the background looking like, like I said, people just think it just magically appears, the funding, the equipment, all of that stuff. They just think the state or whoever gives it to you for free.
And we try to do fun stuff, both our groups together. We just had a fishing tournament June 1st. And that's another one of our fundraisers. And it was fun. We tried to keep it. We had 50 fishermen.
I wanted to go so bad, but it was my first day off all of turkey season, and I slept my happy butt in that day.
Yeah. It was a good day. Everyone had a lot of fun. Plenty of fish.
Great trip. Yeah.
It was very very reasonable. Again, $30 to get in. You're like I said, you're helping conservation. We had raffles. Everyone got a fish dinner.
No weight in the fish.
No weight in the fish. It was all good.
The Downriver guys cooked, and they were it was great.
Downriver Walleye Federation was our partner with that, and like I said, we had Gibraltar helping out. We had all our Point Mouille Waterfowl Festival and the Downriver Walleye Federation. But we do an island cleanup with the Friends of Detroit River.
Up too. Yeah, that's huge.
And that is a big deal. We take care of Celeron Island. We usually get a big group. I'm hoping to expand it so we can take care of Sugar Island as well. They come down and we talk to Bob Burns, who heads the Friends of Detroit River, and we get everyone together, and we've had great success with Gibraltar Duck Hunters and Point Mouille Waterfowl Fest, and some community members from Gibraltar come out and give us a hand, and we collect all the garbage, and it's a fun thing to do. The more people you have, the easier it is. So it's a good time. We have sometimes we've cooked out at we go to Tim's house and destroy his yard.
June 27th we had it.
You know what day that was? No, not June.
Was it?
It's on there June 27th.
June 27th.
Yeah.
Nope. That's not what it
It
was.
was
That
May.
wasn't because we'd already be there. It was in April.
It was April.
April
It
or
was
May? It was April.
Yeah.
Okay, so you know what day that was?
Listen to what I mean, not what I say.
Tomorrow.
Yes.
Right, yeah.
I don't know where that came from.
It was April 20th because they had knee surgery April 19th.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, yeah.
So
He's getting out of cleaning up the island.
Yeah.
He did. And things he'll do to get out and helping out.
Right.
it was the day that I took my sister out hunting, and hopefully she doesn't listen, but I want to say she missed one of the 6 times that day because my sister, she's new. We'll leave it at that.
That's awesome. You went with your
But
sister.
yeah, no, it was a good time, man. It was, and it sucked too because like she didn't have the luck behind it all, and we had some jakes pull up the first day, and I was like, listen, if you don't want to shoot, if you're not excited about it, and you're not feeling like that adrenaline going through you, I don't want you to shoot. I know it's not a Tom, but like it was very I don't know. It was nice to have her not just kill something and just post a picture about it. She wanted something different. She wasn't worked up about it, so it wasn't right for her, So
What I'm hearing is you didn't get together with her and pattern her gun for her and help her out.
I'll break it down for you, all right? So there was one time, there was the 6 jakes that came in. She didn't want to shoot. I was happy about it at the end of the day. A couple days later, I took her out. We ran and gunned, and I had a bird at 30 yards. Threw some thick stuff, don't get me wrong. So it was a tough shot for a first-time turkey hunter. She ended up missing, no big deal.
And then you went and shot pattern.
Not yet. No. So a buddy of mine and the old lady's brother went out. We had 5 toms come in at 10 yards, and the one buddy supposedly didn't have a shot, and it was too far for him. Don't know.
Just give him that micro.
He had 3.5-inch shells in it
Yeah. Rip it.
at 10 yards. It's like too far. What are you talking about, man?
Hey.
Anyway,
One big clean.
I don't know. Whatever. So a couple days go by. I take my sister to that same spot. Then 5 toms come in. The 3 jakes come in with the toms. A couple hens. Whatever. 10 yards again. She shoots, misses. We look at the video. The shell's like way high. I'm like, what the heck's going on? My grandpa gives her gun after that. My dad drives it out because we're thinking it's the gun. I go to the farm to shoot it finally. Spot on. I'm like,
Just
What-
give it that confidence.
what
You
the
shot
heck's
her,
going on?
she shot.
I shot the gun and it was spot on. But I think if you've been turkey hunting, it's easy to get worked up and pull and
Any hunting. Yeah.
for sure,
yeah.
for sure. I mean, waterfowl hunting's different. I feel like because you have multiple opportunities, hopefully in a hunt. Turkey hunting, you might have that one opportunity in the morning where you ring that shot out and every bird in the county's gone. Right. So it's, I don't know. It was such a, I don't even want to say a frustrating thing, but I was frustrated for her, not at her. So, and for her seeing me frustrated, she might have seen or thought that I was frustrated at her for missing, but it's like, listen, everybody misses because if you haven't missed during turkey hunting, you haven't been turkey hunting long enough. And that's it. But
I shot at this turkey's feet one time.
my old lady did last year.
I didn't I racked the shell in, but not. I used a Mossberg and it didn't fire.
Oh,
So then I racked again and The guy I was hunting with, John, yelling at me, shoot, shoot, shoot. He said, I already shot his feet.
He ain't going nowhere. He
And
can't
then-
run.
No, I missed. I clean missed.
Oh.
And I was glad. And then about a half hour later, I shot a nice tom. So I got lucky. But his son, we had a double lined up. His son shot a really nice one. Of course, I wanted to watch him shoot the bird. And then he's shoot, shoot, shoot. And I, didn't pay attention the way I did it. And I heard click. And I went, uh-oh.
It's like you can just hurry up and rack up with it.
And I tried to rack it in and shoot. And, of course,
Yeah.
hey, it's one of them things. It is what it is. But
For us, like me and my dad doubled up opening morning this year. And I can't get enough of turkey hunting. I've said it multiple times on this podcast where if I could pick one thing to hunt all year and that'd be it, it'd be turkeys for me.
do you think that the state will double up on the turkeys?
I don't know if they will or not, but I hope to God they don't. Because, yeah, the population, like where we're at now hunting, I think it was like about 10 years ago, they planted birds there. And to see what the population has done, without even like coon trappers or coyote hunters, there's not a lot around us because trapping alone has just been gone.
Yeah.
Because of the money and all of that. But to see what the population has done and the amount of birds, I mean, we shot 10 birds this year total, and to have that good of chances and opportunities, and that's not including all the misses that we've had. If we get 2 birds a year, what's that going to do? I mean, it might be good in certain counties, don't get me wrong. Like up north, you'll go by a field and there'll be 50, 60 birds out there, no problem. Down here, I'm very particular on what field I'm hunting. I don't care if there's a bird out here strutting every single day. If we've already shot 2 birds from here and there's only 4 birds to start the year off,
right,
I'm not hunting it anymore. I don't care who you are. I don't care what's going on. I want my turkeys for the next year and years to come.
Right.
So, but it's conservation aspect of it all,
Because I've heard, I hunted in Hillsdale. We've shot birds, and then here comes a bunch of jakes.
Right.
And it's hilarious because
they don't know.
They're dumb.
Yeah.
And they came, and we're outside the blind, and they all came in, and they're like looking at the decoy, and we're 5 feet from the decoy.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, this is so awesome.
Yeah.
Of course, the big Tommy's not going to do that, but
I've had them do it though.
Have you?
Like after the shot has rang out and the bird's laying there.
Shell shot.
I've had that bird like pecking away at that other tom, whether it be the dominant tom that you shot or whatever. But like that other tom, for whatever reason, will sit there until you walk up to him and he finally runs off. Like last 2 years ago now, I shot a bird. There was 4 times it came in. The 3 stayed there for 10 minutes until I finally got up and started walking towards them, and then they walked off.
I'm relatively new to it. And the guy I was hunting with, he was a very good caller, knew a lot, and I just enjoy it.
Yeah.
It's a great time to be in the woods.
That's a good hunt.
Had him walk right by me within 5 feet.
It's amazing, man.
And I'm like, the hairs on my neck are standing up, and you got it's pretty cool.
I turkey hunted for the second time this year with Kyle, and I got the full show of it running out and beating the shit out of the decoy and strutting its ass off. And I got the full. It's a different type of adrenaline on like a really good goose or duck hunt. It's different. It's like like, oh shit, you hear him drumming and gobbling behind you. You're like, here he comes. It's different,
sound.
man.
It's weird, man.
When you're close and you hear that, it's like
you can't explain it though.
No.
It's kind of like the deer hunt, right? Because that it's this. It's not a duck hunt. Okay, I got a shot. Maybe there's some more coming in.
Right.
This might be the only chance
I
get. Right. Yeah. And it's a little more intense.
Yeah.
Than a lot of other waterfowl hunting.
Exactly.
Besides deer, because deer are obviously pretty smart for the most part. There's some dumb deer out there that'll walk right up on you and whatever. But turkeys, I think it's that interaction aspect of it all with how smart and the vision that they have. I don't know, just that one-on-one that you have with that bird, it's just something different for me, and it hits different. And everybody says I heard a turkey gobble before. Not a true eastern in the field or the woods.
Especially when they're right behind you.
Man,
it'll actually
just
make you pee your pants.
Yeah, it's great.
Really,
It's great, yeah.
really loud.
there's been a couple times this year where they've snuck up behind us without even making a sound,
Oh, yeah.
and then all of a sudden sound off behind us, and it's like you'll jump right out of your pants, man. I've had to change my Depends 3 times, and I'm not even that old. It was that bad, you know.
You're not wearing good ones.
Yeah. I want to take this mount you got here. I want to be that guy. I want to crawl out there right in the field.
Yeah.
That
shoot him in the face.
Right.
mount right there.
Crawl right out there in front of him, right in front of me.
Well, that
might be big for that. I might do it.
one is illegal, Jamie,
What?
Jamie.
Huh?
It's called reaping.
Hey, you.
So you can't move. You can't
Where
use.
is it legal? Because I see videos of these guys do it.
So
Texas?
it's illegal in Michigan. So in Michigan, you cannot use a decoy and move forward on a bird. You can't, like, there's no strings attached to any decoys. You can't physically move.
Yeah.
So it's all about, in my opinion, you should be able to do it on private property, state land. I would agree not doing it because who knows who's out there.
Right.
I mean, there's so many dumb people that get shot.
out there too, right?
I mean, I seen a video the other day. There was a guy sitting out there calling at these birds. Some kid comes walking through the woods and flings an arrow right at the guy's decoy while the toms are behind the decoy still gobbling. And the kid's standing there like, why isn't he dead yet? Like, the bird's right there. So, like, if you're behind that decoy, adios, amigos. Like, you're done for.
Man, I hate this sport.
Yeah, you know, it's just...
Look at the size of that bird.
Right.
Look at me crawling out there, 280 pounds. We're like, I'm going to get that one, yeah.
But that bird alone, we went out, got permission, which I don't know how, because the year prior there was a hunter that was out there that shot himself in the foot, and I don't know why she let us hunt her property, but she let us go out there. Me and my dad went out there the next morning, seen one hen, and that was it. And like, he'd never seen the property, so I'm like, man, I'm telling you, there's birds out here. I promise you. We go out in the afternoon, we hear a gobble behind us. He came out with his buddy, one Jake or two Jakes and 2 hens. I shot that bird, and that bird had no spurs at all. Just smooth legs. Like, it wasn't a hen. Like, it wasn't a bearded hen or anything. And it wasn't like he broke the spurs off. It was the weirdest thing I've ever seen. But I don't know. It was the same spot where they dropped them at. So I don't know if it was a planted bird that... I don't know. It was very bizarre to not have a turkey with spurs like that, though. I don't know. But any other events that you guys want to talk about?
I do. I got one more.
Let's hear
I
it.
got to bring this one up because it's pretty tremendous. We were called to a meeting, and Tim couldn't make it, with Monroe DU. And this gentleman that owns LA Lawn and Landscaping approached us. This is something this guy wanted to do. His name is Leonard Anto, and he was very passionate about it. He wants to create a area that represents the 5 groups that does conservation, not only in just Point Mouille, but in southeast Michigan, in the state, obviously. But he wants to make an area which is at Point Mouille that you can walk through, and each group, which represents the 5 groups that does a lot of work at Point Mouille, will have their own tree and a plaque in front of each tree that you'll be able to memorialize people that have given their time and life to conservation. And these are people that you can memorialize on the plaque. And each group has a bunch of their own people that have been involved for many, many years and contributed their time to conservation. So right now he's going to be cutting a few trees down. He's going to be planting. There's going to be a walkway, benches. And I just found out today, and I didn't want to tell Tim, but this is absolutely free. He's doing it all on his own.
That's phenomenal.
He wanted his, and I never met anybody that was so passionate, because he's been a big DU sponsor for years.
Right.
And he got to know a lot of the guys that did stuff and contributed their time. And he thought that was tremendous. So he wanted to do something for all the groups. So he approached Tracy Obelater from Ducks Unlimited and Dave Perry. And Dave Perry's on our committee also, board. And he's the big DU guy. And he wanted to do this, and he come up with the idea, and we told him this is where it'd be a good spot, which is right next to the parking lot. So people that have family members that are memorialized out of the 5 groups can come and park. And there's actually going to be a walkway with benches, flowers, plants, and 5 trees with plaques. And you can be able to put the names of the people that contributed to that organization. And I know a few people that for Gibraltar duck hunters, and I know a lot that contribute a lot of time and effort to the Point Mouille Waterfowl Festival. You know, for 76 years, there's a lot of people. So, and he's going to do this all for free.
So even that removing that tree that we talked about,
removing the tree and all, because originally it was
for that. Wow,
what a way though to recognize the patrons that forefronted their life to conservation. I think that's awesome, and I think those people don't get enough recognition at all.
And a lot of people don't. They do it, and I know just I can speak for these guys. I mean, we don't do it for recognition or what we get out of it. We're doing it because it's needed.
Exactly.
And we want to be
behind
involved.
it all.
And we're involved just not in just our local stuff, but we're involved in some issues that are outside that may pertain to, especially Point Mouille and or city of Gibraltar. I mean, we're involved with the community, and the community's involved with us. So this is I had to mention this guy's name because I was really impressed. I mean, he brought a model to the meeting, what he thought it might look like. He didn't know where it would go. And then we walked the grounds and we looked over everything, and then he came up with a plan, and he's going to do it all on his dime.
That's awesome.
So
what's his name?
His name is Leonard Anto, and I might be pronouncing his last name wrong.
There's Antos around here. That's how you pronounce one of the names around here. But
he's a super nice guy.
I need to meet him.
He's a great guy, and you'll meet him. He'll be at the festival. And he runs L.A. Let me get this right. L.A. Lawn and Landscaping out of Monroe.
Wow.
So he's a big hunter himself, and he's a conservationist on his own property, and he's a big donor to Ducks Unlimited. So he wanted to do this for some of the people that he knew, and he knew there was other groups that would be involved. That there's people out there that. They might not be around anymore, but have given their life, their time, I should say, to conservation, which is amounted to most of their lives. And we're working right now on some of the criteria that would, put people on that memorial plaque. And every group will have their own plaque.
It's incredible.
And he's planning on doing all this. So it's pretty touching, and especially if you know people that have been in the conservation as a volunteer for many, many years. They dedicate a lot of time and sometimes a lot of money just to get things done. And they're willing to, you sacrifice your time. That's a lot. A lot of families, too, that get totally involved because that's what they like to do. And some aren't even hunters and fishermen. Believe it or not, same thing on our board.
I've seen that a lot.
We've got probably 4 people that don't hunt or fish at all. They just want to be involved because it's a good thing, and they've been involved with us for over 20 years.
That's
so. But I think I had to mention this because this is hopefully it'll be all done. There'll be a plaque, and they're going to call it the Heroes of Conservation, and it'll be right by the state game area at Point Mouille, where our Point Mouille Waterfowl Festival stone and the commemorative lifetime members DU plaque is. So it's going to be right there, and it'll be a great addition. He's going to remove some trees and trim up some trees and add a boardwalk, and everything is donated. Hobart Farms is going to donate the crushed asphalt for the walkway.
Wow.
Hobart is?
Yep. I just found all this out today coming here.
That'd be my father-in-law, Toby. Then shout out Toby.
So yeah, he's and he's been very generous too over the years with conservation. So
Toby's, I know he's got a soft spot for Point Mouille.
Yeah.
Like you said, guy doesn't even hunt.
yeah,
He's just a farmer and does excavation. And I got him took him to his first duck hunt this year at the draw.
Oh,
when
awesome.
we drew the first spot, and we took what was it? What is it?
11, 12.
Yeah, we took one of them. I think 12.
Yeah.
No, we took 14. I think
14's good.
Yeah, and we shot him up, and he. All right, well, how do I get Sitka now? Can you buy Sitka direct? What's a good gun? And it's like, yeah. So yeah, you
Doesn't take much.
probably. I'll be seeing him soon, so we'll talk more and see maybe if, what more they can help out with around the area,
'cause
because they're right in the area. So
Yeah, this guy is, like I said, he was very passionate. One of the most passionate people that I ever heard wanting to give back and not having someone solicit him. So I give a guy a lot of credit. And anybody that does that and wants to do it for free must have a really good hard work ethic. And,
Good heart.
And a great heart. Yeah,
Yep.
absolutely.
Well, I really don't know how to top that. to be
Yeah, that's a
honest
tough
with you.
one.
That's
I'm glad I saved it to the end. I hope people were still listening.
if they're
That's
not,
tremendous.
then
They're
They just
lost.
missed it.
don't listen to the next one.
I tell Kyle all the time, because like I told you, like with Milwaukee, I travel all over, like state to state for the trade shows and stuff. Well, I did in my old role, and I would go to like these trade shows, and they're boating shows, RV shows, whatever, tool shows, and a lot of these guys hunt. And I'd say, hey, have you heard of Great Lakes Outdoors? I mean, Iowa, Wisconsin, and you'd be surprised how many people know our page and how many people it reaches outside of just Southeast Michigan in general. So
Good, yeah.
it'll touch quite a few people, I think.
and hopefully motivate people in their areas, not just around here,
Right.
but just in their own areas to do more.
No matter where you're at,
Right.
get involved.
Right.
Well, Kyle, you need a shout out, right? I mean, I don't know how many people come out here and say, "Hey, thank you for doing what you do."
Can I video this? Because you're the
It's a
first
lot,
one.
right? Serious? Come on. I mean, it's serious. I mean, you do a lot. This is a dedication. You work here. You have your day job.
It's
you're
not a
doing
paying
here.
gig, right?
Not a
Yeah.
paying gig. It's just
Right.
it's just what you do. It's it's part of the passion, and to be able to do this, it's great to talk about and to bring us all on here. But you're doing it, right? I mean, it's great for you to do this and have start your own your own logo, Great Lakes Outdoors. It's cool. It's great.
I mean, I greatly appreciate that, and that's why I'm so excited about Fonz coming on with me, because to share.
I'm not so sure about them yet.
Just wait till after the podcast, all right? Just let me know. No,
That's when the show starts.
yeah. But to have somebody that has the same passion that I do and that I could talk to about it, the sky's the limit now. Now it takes some stress off of my shoulder, because it is a lot of work, but now that somebody's wanting to do it as much as I do, and it's for nothing. But my biggest thing is, if I can reach 1 to 2 people per podcast to be able to teach them something, whether about Point Mouille Waterfowl Festival or Gibraltar Duck Hunters, on how much you guys do, or how to set a decoy spread, or calling aspect of it all, or just whatever it may be. That's all I want. You know what I mean? And for me and Fonz now to take the time from the family and Fonz's baby, it does do a lot. And like I said, I really do appreciate you recognizing that, because not a lot of people do, and it goes
But
back
you'll
to
get it. I mean, from a guy that's been in a club for 20 years, that's been giving back. You'll get it. I mean, it's just a feeling you should get for doing what you do.
right.
It just feels good, and it's all it takes.
That's all you want,
you
though.
don't need anything else.
Right, right.
It's
It's the
a great
passion
feeling.
behind
Yeah.
it all, and
Appreciate you.
it doesn't go for pats on the back or anything. It's just we do it for what I think anyway, the right reason, and we're gonna keep doing it because of the right reason, and trying to progress us, progress Gibraltar, progress Point Mouille, just everybody around us, and give back any way we can.
Well, I do appreciate the fact this is my second time, and probably the most words I've ever spoken on this. My
Well,
dad
the first
here.
time was
It was
yeah.
yeah.
Kind of runs in the
Which
family.
he's got good stories.
Besides Jamie talking about Zach's mom, I don't know what he talked about, but it's okay.
I appreciate the fact that you allow me on the show to talk about our uniqueness of Point Mouille Waterfowl Fest and the Gibraltar Duck Hunters. And Kyle, I can't call you Fonz, Alex. So
With a
but I
Y,
pre-
though.
Yeah.
Just saying.
But Kyle and Alex, I appreciate you letting us on your podcast at Great Lakes Outdoors. I do appreciate it. And it gives us an avenue to let people know what we do and the uniqueness of what these two groups do and all the groups and ways of you could, the normal person, I should say, the average person, get involved and help out. So, and we both have, we have a website. I don't know if do you guys.
We have a Facebook page.
Facebook page,
We
I'm
don't have a
sorry.
website anymore. It went
Sorry.
away years ago.
But just get a hold of on Facebook. We both have Facebook and website, and if you can get a hold of us, you want to get involved, let me know. A sponsorship or buying tickets or any information you want to know.
Help clean up after the festival.
Anything helps.
Anything.
I answer right away as best I can, and just give us a shout out. And I appreciate the fact of you allowing me to be here. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
Yep.
not a problem.
Appreciate it, Kyle.
Not a
Thank you for what you do.
I appreciate that greatly. Alex, do you have anything?
No, I just want to say thank you guys for coming out. It was a great conversation. It was great to finally meet you guys. I heard a lot about you guys and Zach's mom. But on a serious note, it was great having this conversation with you guys. This is one that's going to stick with me for a while, and anything me and Kyle can do to help you guys with your guys' avenues, just let us know, and we'll be the first to raise our hands. So just let us know,
I
You're
man.
appreciate
doing it
it.
right now.
Yep.
Before we end it, is there any shout outs or like where people can find you? Just so
We're on
web-
PointMouilleWaterfowlFestival.org. And Facebook, you can find us on Facebook. Follow us, please. And there's a lot of information we throw out there and a lot of events, not just our own. We throw a lot of our sponsors' events out there and other conservation groups' events, dinners, and whatever they have going on, we throw it out there. So if you're looking for some of the stuff to do and to help conservation, come to our Facebook or Gibraltar's and Duck Hunters and find out where you can have some fun.
which
You just send us a
contribute.
message on Facebook, the Gibraltar Duck Hunters, or email gibraltarduck@gmail.com.
that's we got to get you guys set up with the Instagram because
There
we're
is
on Instagram
one,
a lot.
but just not active.
Because I know for Point Mouille anyway, we've been seeing you guys resharing, so it's tough because I'm not on Facebook a lot.
Yeah.
Me either.
So not that it's a bad thing, but I'm just saying we got to get you set up.
It's a different generation. I get it.
We're trying to
If
keep
you
up.
ever need help with that kind of stuff, like seriously, let
I'm an
us
IT
know,
guy.
man. We're
I'm an IT. I can figure it out. I just
Yeah,
don't.
I was gonna say, like, however you guys, because there's so much.
I'm not a caveman like some other people in here.
I think
Shots
he's talking
fired.
about me.
Shots fired. Don't be talking about my boy Bob like that.
I've got two smart daughters that are very good at some of that stuff. But we've got some young kids, Chris Nemi and Ryan Buckley,
Which
that have contributed to just doing that too. And plus everything else they've already done, and they just started this year with us. So I appreciate what they do. I'm so thankful because we are of an age that I don't understand it all.
which Chris is supposed to be coming on actually to also promote both of you guys at the same time.
Yeah. He's a very, very good kid.
Yes.
I say kid,
absolutely.
he's a grown man, but he's a very nice guy. Ryan's great.
We better stay out of my turkey spots because I caught him snooping around my fields last. No, we're supposed to have him on, and like I said, promote everything about the groups and giving back and everything.
Yeah.
Because the more that we can promote around here, the more that we're going to help other communities and just help explain and go into further detail. And
Well, them two guys remind me of you two guys. They're really enthusiastic about getting the word out and enjoy what you do.
it's just the
Just
passion.
keep doing it.
It's just
Just
the passion.
keep doing it.
though. It's for us, like the social media aspect of it all, it's a second job. It's a lot to do with trying to stay up with the time and the reels and the videos and the editing and all that stuff. And not a lot of people understand that, but to help any way we can, any way we can help with other organizations that help our community. I mean, I anyway, all for it. And I don't know, goes unrecognized, but it is what it is. At the end of the day, you only can do what you can.
Right.
So, but
we recognize you.
Well, I appreciate
I
that.
think you guys do a great job.
I appreciate that greatly.
So don't forget about the most recent upcoming event, right? The Bill Barrow shoot.
Bill Barrow
Yes.
shoot. Yeah,
So look
and
for
you
that.
can sign up online on our website,
I'll be
pay.
there. I can't make it. I do have something in my truck. I have a still weed whip. I'm gonna donate, brand new.
As we're talking about a Milwaukee
coming.
guy right here, way to
Milwaukee
go.
guy, but, so it's maybe
Whatever.
he's got something for
Get him off the pod.
Get the
No
Milwaukee guy to
pressure.
throw something in there.
That's one.
I don't work for Still. I work for Sunlaw Reynolds, but I got permission to donate that. Cause it's hunters are contractors. Contractors are hunters.
Yep.
I know
Everyone does yard work, and you can use it in the
there'll be
field
guys
as well.
There that'll be some contractors to see it. So I got permission to donate a weed whip to the Bill Barrow shoot for one of
Nice.
the gifts.
Very
So-
nice.
I mean,
Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you.
anybody that's willing to donate anything, I don't care what
Yes.
it is.
You need prizes.
I mean, just
We-
to get it out there to help others. That's all I ask. honestly.
And we're tax deductible. Tax deductible.
Can you say it again?
We're a
Easy
501c.
for you to say.
We're a 501c3. So, I mean, there's not many groups in our position in like Gibraltar that gives back, and we give all our money back. So, I mean, we're totally nonprofit, and that's why we're always going to keep it, and trying to do our best to give back to the community, which is, anytime you do anything that brings people into Point Mouille, helps the local businesses, restaurants, stores, bait shops, bars. I mean, it all comes together.
It's one big community at the end of the day.
And we've got great relationships with everybody, and hopefully we can expand that. And like as far as raffle donations, live auction donations, we'll take anything. So, I mean, within reason. Right. I want to open that door.
Right. You gotta watch what you say here.
It's got to make sense.
I heard what was
people.
coming.
Yeah.
It's got to make
But
sense.
I mean, anything that that would draw money for us to make money to turn it into conservation,
To give back, yeah.
give back, we really appreciate it.
And before we end this, I got one last thing to say. Well, two last things. I'm sorry for earlier there was a whole ordeal before I got here. But I want to say how much I appreciate you guys being here and what you guys do for the community, because you guys are, and you guys don't even realize this, a lot of people look up to you guys on what you guys do for us as hunters in general and fishermen. Not a lot of people say it to you guys. Jamie, I'm talking about you too. So
Yeah, not even me from Gibraltar. I'm just here.
no, I know, and that's the thing, man.
I'm just here.
I'm
that outsider
I
here.
truly am grateful for the time I get to spend with you guys, and it's only been a handful of times so far.
Yeah, we got a lot of work to do.
But yeah, for sure, and I'm so excited for the future with it all, because I really think that the sky's the limit, and the way that things are going, we can really promote giving back to the right cause, I guess you want to say. And like I said, I'm just grateful for the time I get to spend with you guys and getting to know you guys, and look forward for the future.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah,
Good to have you
not a
around.
problem. Not a problem. But anybody got anything else, Fonz? You guys good? Jamie, anything else about Zach's mom? Okay, sounds good.
Just a hawk too.
Until next time, guys. Thanks for listening. See ya.